Who's a little piggy? You're a little piggy. Look how fat you are. Alright guys, gonna do a quick tour today. It's supposed to get to 105 degrees later today, so I'm gonna probably just try to finish this up really quickly and then get inside and probably stay inside for the rest of the day. So we're starting off in the Scotch Bonnet patch. As you can see, there's one back there that's ready. Actually, there's another and another back there. So these plants are doing okay so far. This little one had some problems. It had like some damage from a windstorm, and then some overwatering, and then a caterpillar got to it. So this little guy is trying to struggle to come back, but he's doing pretty good so far. Here we have a bunch of fig plants. Another tree. I think this one only has like one pepper on it, but some of these are doing better than others. This is the Bourgeoisie Noir fig tree. It's growing pretty good, but unfortunately I don't see any figs on it, so that's disappointing. But on the other hand, this grafted Figo Preton I-258 is doing very well. So there's a bunch of fruit all over it. Hopefully I'll actually get to try some of this fruit before some of the squirrels get to them, because as I've mentioned before, I hate squirrels. So that's a plane going overhead, so I'm just waiting for it to kind of pass by. But this Scotch Bonnet is doing really well. It is very productive. There's a lot of fruit on it, so this one should give me all I need for this season. But we'll hopefully the other ones catch up as well. But this little patch is doing good so far. There's another little one that I just transplanted the other day. It's not as big as the other ones obviously, but it's catching up pretty quickly. So here are some of the in-ground plants. These are actually doing pretty good in terms of growth. They're growing really well. They're green, they're lush. I think each one of them has like one fruit on it, so they're not doing well in terms of production. But again, these were just experimental to see if like they would die in the soil. So far they've been doing good, and yeah, there's one fruit on that one back there. You can see that. The light's kind of bad, but yeah, they're doing better than I expected, to be quite honest, so I'm happy with that. Hopefully they start pushing out some fruit later on in the season before it gets too hot. No real changes on the Asian pear. It's just growing, going along well. I sprayed it the other day so no little bugs could get to it. This patch also has some in-ground peppers, about the same. They have the same problem. They only have like one pepper each, but they're doing better than I expected, so can't really complain. I think this is a wonderful pomegranate, and it's got a few little blossoms on it. They've blossomed throughout the year, but none of them have held, so I'm just letting it grow for this year. But it's kind of a pretty flower. Hopefully when it actually gets larger, the tree will be covered with these, and then it'll be covered with some pomegranates later, which would be even better. Alright, as we see over here, we've got a bunch of fig trees, some Ahi Pitas. There's a little ripe one back there. Got some more figs. I think these are I-258s and Figo Pretos. So there's quite a bit of fruit on this one. It's for a small plant. This one's a Chicago Hardy. It's got a few fruit on it, which is good. And the plant's doing really well. The rest of the pepper plants, as I mentioned, you know, like 1 and 2 peppers here and there, but they're nice and green and lush, and they're alive. That's the important thing. Alright, over here I think this is a 7-pot. This one's producing quite a bit. It's got a bunch of flowers, a lot of little buds. No ripe peppers yet though. Actually I lied, that one's a 7-pot strain. This one's a yellow Maruga. So as you see, here's one pepper here, but there's a bunch more on here. Just don't feel like digging through the plant to show you because there's a bunch of mosquitoes out here. I don't want to wake them up. I think this one's a red Maruga. So it's got a few fruit on it, not as much as the yellow, but it's still doing pretty good. I think that's a crow in the background. They're noisy. Let's see, this one is a graft on the Asian pear. This one's the Korean giant. I did this a few weeks ago and it seems to have taken hold, because I see a bunch of green buds coming out and it's doing better than it was last week. So hopefully that one catches. This one, on the other hand, did not catch, or it doesn't look like it's going to. So I'll probably need to redo this graft. I was taking a chance with this little scion. It didn't seem like it was too healthy, and it feels pretty dry, so I'm probably gonna have to redo this one. Alright, this one's a Figo Preto. It's got a bunch of fruit on it. Well, not a bunch, but 3. So I think this was the first one that actually put out some fruit, and they've been staying this size for quite a while. So hopefully they get bigger. That one back there is a Carolina Reaper. It's one of the few on these trees. The Carolina Reapers have not been producing really good at this time of year. I think it's just too hot for them, but which is kind of ironic considering it's the world's hottest pepper, but it doesn't really like heat. So there we've got some more 7-pot brain strains. I think this one is, what is this one? I think this is a Scotch brain, it looks like. Yeah, a bunch of these little fruit all over the plant. Obviously a lot of other greenery, mint, sage, miscellaneous. So these were the little plants that were in those solo cups. I transplanted them to these little tiny containers and they're still producing a lot of fruit. So for anyone that was asking, like, if you need a really large pot to grow peppers, you don't. I have no idea what this one is right here, so I just transplanted this pot. It was supposed to be a yellow or red Moruga, and obviously those do not look like Morugas. So, Canadria fig. No fruit yet. It's an Ahi Lemon. It's doing pretty good after I burnt it by accident with too much fertilizer. So it's coming back and it's producing quite a bit of flowers. Same thing for this little Pita. And then this red pepper, whatever it is, it's putting out a ton of peppers. And they're all ready, so I'll have to pick these off later today. I might make some jam out of these. Not really sure yet. That I think is a Figo Preto with some more figs on it. And then here's my Araki Pita, and this one's doing pretty good. I noticed there was a bunch of ripe fruit on it the other day. Ah, there they are. So as you can see, all of those are yellow or orange, I guess. I waited, I didn't know if they're supposed to get to a different color, so I've been waiting for a couple of days to see if they change to like a red or a deeper orange, but I think that's probably the color they are when they're ripe. So I'm gonna pick a few of those off later today. I already tried one. It's moderately spicy. It's got a little flavor to it. Not too bad. It's a good little pepper. I think I'll grow them again next year, but they're not like blow your head off hot, which is good for a lot of people. About the same as, I guess, probably a jalapeno, if that. As you can see, there's quite a bit more here, and then these little plants are producing peppers, the ones that are in these little pots. So again, these are like, I guess, quart-sized pots, probably not even that. more figs, a bunch of thyme. These are some yellow Morugas, which are doing really well. I'm gonna pick these off later. This one's huge, it's a big bumpy guy. So after I finish this video, I'll probably come out and pick the rest of these off. So a bunch of Scotch Bonnets here. This branch actually broke, and as you can see, so much leaves here. See if I can get a shot of that. Yeah, that branch broke, and so I just rested it on this other flower pot instead of taking it off, and it's been kind of healing itself back. But I think if I were to let it kind of hang on its own, it would just break off, and all those peppers would be lost. So I'm gonna leave it where it is right now. And as we see, the rest of the plants are producing 1 and 2 peppers here and there, but there's a lot of little buds on here that are growing up, like that one. So hopefully I'll get a sustained harvest throughout the season. But that's pretty much it, guys. So that's I don't know if it was a quick tour, but it was a tour of the garden for right now. As I said, it's going to get really hot later today, so I'm probably not going to be outside very much today. I did go ahead and give the plants a shot of phosphorus and potassium yesterday, along with some other micronutrients. I don't really need them to be growing any more green growth at this point, so I'm just wanting them to focus on fruit growth and being healthy. So I'll give you an update in a few weeks, and we'll take it from there. All right, guys, have a good one.